Hello YouTube, it's Craig with Casworks Woodworking. Well, today I'm going to show you how to do this quick and easy box joint jig. Let's get to it.
I'm going to use the dado stack to cut my box joints. I've already picked the blades I'm going to use, and I've measured them to width, and I'm going to cut this piece of wood to match that width. And you'll see how I use it later. The carcass of the jig was simply made with scraps I had lying around. It basically has a bottom piece with runners. It has a front guide and a rear guide. Here I'm attaching the front guide. This type of assembly is really no different than any other crosscut sled that you might see on YouTube. With the jig mostly assembled, I'm going to cut the kerf with the dado stack. The front piece you see me holding will actually be used for the adjustments to put the jig in the right place. Now you can see what I used that initial piece that I cut for. I placed it in the first kerf, and now I'm using another cutoff from that piece to get the exact placement so the jig works properly and the fingers mesh at the right spacing. I'll temporarily clamp it in place until I get it dialed in. It'll most likely take a few passes to get those fingers to mesh just right. And once it's in the correct spot, then I will secure it permanently. So a bit about the construction in case I didn't get it all filmed. I've got 2 3/4 pieces back here, then a 1/2 inch piece. That's the piece that actually has the little key in it that matches the thickness of the blade kerf. The bottom is 1/2 inch, and I just got a little edge piece, front edge piece to keep this secured. And it's got the 2 runners running the slots on the table saw. Everything is just kind of screwed together, screwed to the bottom. It actually functions really well. If I were going to change it, I probably would have made it a little longer because I find the stability, since this is almost as tall or taller than it is the width this way. I find that sometimes it pushes back a little bit. But I can compensate for that as I'm cutting the workpiece. So that's the basic construction. Let's do some cuts and see how it all works. You butt the edge of your first piece up against the key and make your first cut. Once that cut is made, you can lift the piece up and nestle it over the key and keep doing that until you have no more board left. Once you've finished one end, be sure to flip it end for end and do the exact same thing, maintaining the same pattern that you just completed. I forgot to film it, but you can see that the opposite boards should have the same pattern. Now, in order for them to fit together like you see here, once you've completed the first board, you put it in the jig over the key and then butt the other board against it, and then it'll maintain the pattern in order for them to finger in together. Not too shabby. Here's a closer look with them glued up. This project will be in another video. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. Have a great week.